Welcome, everyone. This is the computer science information session for the virtual open house this weekend. And we still have more attendees joining the session. That's great. My name is Steve Edwards. I am the Associate Department Head for Undergraduate Studies here. And I'm joined with two of our current undergraduate ambassadors, Natalia and Ryan. And we're going to start by playing a brief video for you describing some of the aspects of our program and the computer science major. And then we're going to spend the bulk of the time trying to answer questions for you. And you should find on your screen at the bottom a Q&A button that will allow you to open up a Q&A window so that you can type in questions for us to answer. And feel free to enter any questions that you have while the video is playing, and also as we're talking later, and we will answer them in the order that they appear. So remember to use Q&A there for that, to post your questions. So I'm going to go ahead and start this video, and then we'll move on to Q&A.
I'm the Associate Department Head in the Department of Computer Science here at Virginia Tech. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our program and provide some to prospective students and families. First of all, why study computer science? You're probably already interested in computer science if you're here watching this video. Computer science is important to all of us because it's part of everything everywhere. There is not a field of science or engineering, technology, or business that doesn't depend on computing for making advances and performing daily functions. Computer science is a field without boundaries that lets students build almost anything they can imagine and solve problems in extremely unique ways. So we teach our students to use computer science to change the world. Here's an example of some of the companies that hire our graduates from Virginia Tech. Here in the computer science department, one of the unique aspects that we have is our own career fair that is just for computer science majors and minors. Yes, we're in the College of Engineering at Virginia Tech, and the College of Engineering has an engineering expo every semester, but we also have a select group of companies that come to Virginia Tech exclusively to recruit computer science majors, and only our majors and minors have access to this extra career fair that we provide to help hook our students up with internships and full-time jobs once they graduate. What about our major? Well, we actually have 3 majors in computer science. They're all for the same degree, for a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. In addition, we offer a very vibrant computer science minor for people who would like to add some deeper computing experience to an existing major if they happen to be studying something in humanities, physical sciences, math, or another engineering field. All of our majors require 123 hours. That consists of 22 hours of math, 12 hours of lab sciences, 30 hours of liberal arts, and about 46 hours of computer science specific courses. There are also a number of other courses we require in public speaking, technical writing, statistics, and engineering education. If you're a prospective student who is still in high school, one thing that you might consider doing is making sure that you plan out the AP courses that you would like to take exams for. We recommend that students consider getting AP credit for calculus, English, physics, and chemistry, since all of those can transfer into Virginia Tech. For details on other AP exams that transfer full credit to Virginia Tech, see the registrar's website at Virginia Tech, which has the full transfer guide. In addition, if your high school offers a computer science course that also prepares you to take the Computer Science A AP exam, and you have an opportunity to take it, that's a great way to give you a head start. If you score 4 or better on the AP exam, we usually recommend that you use that credit in place of our first computer science programming course and move directly into our second course. You can do that in your first semester as a freshman here at Virginia Tech. Comparing computer science to other engineering majors, including computer engineering, mechanical engineering, and the dozen or so other majors that are offered here in the College of Engineering at Virginia Tech. Computer science has the fewest hours to graduate. That actually means it's the easiest to combine if you wish to double major. For example, many of our students double major in math or double major in another physical science. Some of them double major in computer science and computational modeling and data analytics, which is a very statistics and math heavy degree offered in the College of Science. And computer science is one of the few engineering degrees that makes it easy to double major. In addition to combining better with other majors within engineering and outside engineering, our major is one of the few that does not require classes in engineering, science, and mechanics. In particular, we don't require differential equations or statics. Computer science is a more intellectual discipline. There's less physical laboratory work or science workbench type of activities. It's much more working with your computer, working with software, working with other people than working with physical devices. It's much more about design and implementation experience. Employers really value the strength of our students in terms of their technical skills in both software design and implementation. And of course, when you're working with software, you typically get much more immediate feedback because you can immediately run the code that you're working on without having to wait for mechanisms to dry, wait for new parts to come in, or that sort of thing. So that's a little bit about our computer science majors. We have a general computer science major that works for all students, but we also have two new majors, one in secure computing for students who would like an emphasis in their degree on cybersecurity, and also a major in data-centric computing for students who would like more emphasis on data analytics and data science in their computer science degree.
Thank you all. We're going to go ahead and open it up for questions, and we've already had a number of them typed into the Q&A box, so that's where you type in your questions for us to answer. We did get a couple of questions about AP and IB credits, and also a couple of questions about double majoring or minoring with other disciplines, so let me try to tackle those first. AP computer science courses in high school do receive credit at Virginia Tech. It depends on whether you took, exactly which credit you get depends on whether you took the CSA course or the computer science principles course, but both do receive credit here at Virginia Tech for different courses. Also, there are IB courses that receive credit, and on the registrar's website, they have a transfer guide that actually lists the details for all of the AP classes and also what IB credits students receive for their various coursework. So you can look up the details on exactly what transfers on the registrar's website, but we do give credits for both IB and AP. In terms of double majoring, it turns out that computer science is probably the discipline within the College of Engineering that has the most double majors with other disciplines, both within engineering and elsewhere in the university, particularly in science and math. We're a very popular destination for double majors because the number of credits we have is lower than any other engineering major, and that actually makes double majoring easier. Also, computer science is so interdisciplinary that it's a very popular destination for people who have other interests. So we do have students who major in computer science and minor in other disciplines. We also have students in other disciplines who take a computer science minor. We have one of the largest minor programs within the college, and double majors as well. So that's definitely something that's possible. One of the most popular double majors for computer science students is math. Another popular double major for computer science is a major in the College of Science called computational modeling and data analytics. And within engineering, there are a number of students who double major with computer science and computer engineering because they want both the software aspects of computing and also the hardware aspects of digital hardware design. So those are definitely possible. Let's see, other questions. Ryan and Natalia, do you see any questions there that you would like to take a shot at answering?
I'm seeing a few questions relating to like practical versus theory knowledge in CS courses and also like focus on software design or other topics. So just to kind of address that briefly, and then if Natalia has thoughts to weigh in, um, the answer is all of the above. So you'll have some CS courses, like early on, you'll take a course called problem solving in CS that focuses very much on practical elements of computer science. You learn a lot of tools, like some of you may have heard of Git or other things that you use when you enter the industry after you graduate. And then there's other courses that are a lot more theoretical. So you get kind of both. And then to address the other topic of design, that's a very big part of it. In your early on courses, they will give you the design for your programs, but as you move through the curriculum, part of the project will be designing the programs yourself. So there's definitely a very strong emphasis on that.
Yeah, I can speak to that too. So I'm a senior at Virginia Tech, majoring in CS, and I'm currently in some theory courses right now. I would say I haven't taken a class that's just been devoted to theory until my senior year, but like going like when you're taking all the prerequisites, like, you know, starting your sophomore year, you're going to like get a mix of both like data structures, algorithms, the theory of that, and then also how to implement it in a project. So you're going to get like the hands-on like project work too. And I also got a question about internships and like opportunities for that within CS. Honestly, like my favorite thing about this department has been all the opportunities we have to interact with a lot of like company recruiters, like, you know, being able to interview, have our resumes reviewed. And I think like comparing, I guess I have a lot of friends in other majors too, and all my CS friends have had internships starting since they're like freshman or sophomore year of college. So it's definitely an opportunity. We even have a career fair devoted just to CS majors twice a year. And we also have Engineering Expo, which every engineer is allowed to go to, but it's a very crowded, a very like busy career fair. So it's really nice that we have our own career fair. So we don't have to like, you could basically go up to any booth, talk about yourself, and then you'll like easily be like set up for like interviews. And I know a lot of people who've like taken up those opportunities. Another question I got was about like diversity within CS majors. Currently, I'm in a women in engineering sorority, Alpha Omega Epsilon, and I'm in a couple other clubs like Association for Women in Computing. I feel like those kind of clubs like promote a lot of diversity within CS, and like it's not just open to girls, it's also open to guys. If you really want to like support that too, like you're totally allowed to come to like these events, and there's a lot of like networking, a lot of like info sessions, and you really just kind of get, you know, like more of like a professional side of like the CS department.
I just saw a question about criteria for being accepted into the major. So as with any engineering major at Virginia Tech, not just computer science, if you get a 3.0 your freshman year, you're guaranteed acceptance into your top choice major. So come here as a freshman, do well in your classes, and then you'll get into computer science or the major of your choice. And then someone else just asked about independent study. So maybe I'll address this a little bit, and if someone else also wants to speak to it, independent study is a thing, especially as you get older, but also undergraduate research for credit. So I'm personally involved in an undergraduate research project called CS Genome, where we're looking at the lineage of computer systems, and there's pretty much every professor at Virginia Tech and in the computer science department does research. So go to your professor's office hours, talk to them, get to know them, and more often than not, there will be opportunities, especially if you're doing it for credit, where they would be more than happy to have you get involved in their research and do that sort of thing. So I would strongly encourage that, and you can get course credit for doing so that you can substitute for some of your electives.
Okay, so to follow up on one of the things that Ryan said about getting into the program, one thing that's important for prospective students to know is that when you apply as a student to Virginia Tech, all of the engineering programs are restricted, which means new freshmen are not actually admitted into any of the degrees within engineering. Instead, you apply to the college as a whole. And if you are accepted into the College of Engineering, you start out your freshman year as a general engineering major. That's not a degree granting major. That's just a major for freshmen when they're just starting out. And you have to earn a GPA here at Virginia Tech and meet a minimum set of course requirements that are set for the College of Engineering. There's a series of courses that includes calculus and English and a freshman engineering course and some basic science that you need to complete during your freshman year before you can apply to enter any major within engineering. Once you do that, if during your first year you, as Ryan said, you earn a Virginia Tech GPA that is 3.0 or above, you're guaranteed entry into your first choice major. If your freshman GPA is lower than that, then whether you get in, which major you can get into depends on capacity or availability. Computer science is in such high demand that we almost only get students in any given semester whose GPA is above a 3.0. So it's important to pay attention to your classes during your freshman year, make sure that your GPA is where it needs to be, make sure you meet the course requirements for changing into a major in order to get in. But if you do that, if you're admitted to the College of Engineering during your college application process, you start here and you earn a sufficient GPA when you go to transfer into a major, then you'll get into your first choice, if that's computer science. So it's important for people to understand that at a lot of other schools, you might apply directly to a Department of Computer Science as part of the application process, but that's not true at Virginia Tech. No one's directly admitted to the department. They have to come to VT first, establish a GPA, meet the minimum course requirements, and that's true for all of the engineering programs. Natalia, do you have another question to answer?
Yeah, so I saw 4 upvotes on this one question about what kind of computer languages would we be learning in CS classes, so, and like how we could prepare. So coming from my experience, I saw some other questions related to this, like you don't have to actually have coding knowledge or coding experience to go into this major. I came into Virginia Tech wanting to do CS and literally had no idea, had never taken a coding course, just thought it was cool. So the courses in CS are taught in Java first, and then you start learning C. So all the way up until your senior year, you'll be coding in Java and C for your courses, like your in-major courses. And if you sign up for electives, you'll probably be introduced to Python. I know you're introduced to Python in your problem-solving course, which is a 2000 level or a sophomore year class. And you're you through internships and kind of like your own projects, you can, be exposed to other languages. I know your senior year, you'll be taking a class called comparative languages, and I'm being exposed to like languages like Go, like Ada, like all these like smaller, like kind of like more new like languages. And so that's kind of like your priority should be in Java and C.
Yes, that's correct. And I did see a question on there about GPA for students, so I tried to type that answer into the chat box. For students changing into the major, which is mostly freshmen, the average GPA for students entering the major is around 3.2. The average GPA for seniors who are graduating varies from year to year, but is usually between 3.4 and 3.5.
I'm seeing a lot of questions about how the CS program at Virginia Tech compares to other programs, maybe across the US or across the state of Virginia. So just to kind of give my perspective, and then Natalia can weigh in. I think, at least from my experience at Virginia Tech, culturally, everyone here is very much willing to help you out and very accepting here and very much willing to work together. We have an undergraduate student lounge for the CS department, which not a lot of other departments, both at this school and at other schools have, which not this semester because of COVID-19, but during a normal semester, you can go and all the TAs are there providing office hours. There are other students there. It's a collaborative space where you can really work together. And then also just the number of things to get involved in here. There's so many different things. You can do design teams, you can do undergraduate research, you could do clubs, that there are really a lot of opportunities. Natalia?
Yeah, I get this question a lot too. And you guys are kind of in this stage where you're kind of like deciding like, where should I go study? And I was kind of in that, I remember being in that same stage too, but if you're thinking about our rival school, UVA, I want to just say that Virginia Tech is definitely better, like when it comes to like all the opportunities we have in like the engineering aspect, the networking aspect, even the environment we build here with like all your peers, the professors, I feel like is very engaging and welcoming. Like I've never felt like I've always felt like this department was welcoming, and even from like coming from a background where I'd never like coded before, I have picked it up, and like now my senior year, like I haven't even graduated, and now I have like a full-time job for like next year.
Okay, it looks like one student asks if they can earn AP credit for the AP Computer Science class that they're taking right now. And the answer is yes. Virginia Tech offers credit for both the AP Computer Science A course and also for the AP Computer Science Principles course. The Computer Science A test in particular, if you earn a score of 4 or 5 on it, that can count for the first required course for CS majors or CS minors. And so that would be great. Not all high schools offer that course, but if you have an opportunity to take it, it's great to use it for that purpose. If you get a 3 on that particular test, we usually recommend that students consider taking the course over here at Virginia Tech to make sure they have a smooth entry into the remaining courses that we have.
Someone asked about major in cybersecurity. So the major is not called cybersecurity; it's called secure computing. But that's basically what the major is. It's within the CS department, and you'll take the same core courses early on for the most part, and then as you get higher level, you will take different electives. You'll be more focused just on cybersecurity as opposed to kind of casting a broader net and exploring all of computer science.
Yeah, going off of cybersecurity too, it's also a minor here that we offer, along with other kind of technical CS related minors. Like I know HCI is also a minor, cybersecurity. A lot of CS majors will minor in mathematics, which I think is only like 2 more courses. So it's a very flexible minor, and it kind of just goes hand in hand in like what you're already like learning in your like core like major classes. So I saw a question about, can you major in computer science while minoring in something that's not engineering related? And I can speak on this because I'm doing that. So I'm a CS major, but I'm minoring in Chinese studies. So that's completely unrelated to CS. And I just thought it was interesting. Like, honestly, my best advice is like minoring in something you're really interested in, because you'll be like motivated to take those extra courses. And it's definitely available. Like you can minor in anything outside of engineering in any other department. And it's really cool.
I'm seeing a few questions about what does the curriculum entail, how theoretical is it? So it entails both theoretical aspects and practical aspects during most likely your sophomore year, except some people take it as a freshman. You'll take a course called Problem Solving in CS that's very practical, focusing on tools and technologies that you'll use in industry. As you get higher up, more towards your senior year, and Natalia can probably speak to this more, you'll take some courses that are more theory-based. There is a theory requirement for graduation. And then there's a strong focus on software design. In your early courses, you'll be given the design for your programs, but as you advance up, part of the projects will be, okay, here's a problem. How do I design a program to solve this problem?
I see another question about resources available to us if we need help. And this is like another thing I love about the department. We have well, now we're virtual, but we have a CS lounge, and every course will have TAs available, honestly, from like Monday through Friday, available to answer any of your questions. The professors are usually available, but TAs are always available to help you. And it's the resources we have to kind of like help you, like, if you like run into a bug or if you have a question on the material. TAs are very helpful in that aspect, and they're honestly available. You just got to check their schedules. And now even virtually, like all you have to do is like go log on to their like Zoom meeting, and it's still been so helpful.
Yeah, I don't know if either you or Ryan have been on the first floor of Torgerson recently, but our second undergraduate learning center, that is our second computer science lounge, is going to be opening on the first floor of Torgerson next semester. And we're actually planning to create a tutoring center over there, which should be in place before new students start next fall.
Okay, so just a few more questions before it kicks us out at 1:40. Someone asked the difference between computer science and computer engineering in terms of jobs that you'll get after graduation. So computer engineering is more focused lower level of computing, so hardware design. You get a little bit of electrical engineering and circuits in there. You can do some embedded systems and embedded software if that's more interesting to you. And whereas CS is more higher level software design, stuff like maybe API development, front end, like server backends, that sort of thing. Yeah, so it's just a difference. Sometimes you get the same job though, so it really depends on like who you interview with and what you go for.
The kinds of jobs are a little bit different, but frankly, there are so many openings in both computer science and computer engineering across the nation that the job opportunities are extremely rich for both of them.
Mhm. I'm seeing a question about the workload. That's a good question. The workload's definitely a lot, but you learn to adapt to it, and that's part of going to college, in my opinion. So, freshman year, what I thought I was capable of is much less than sophomore year, much less than junior year, et cetera. And you get better over time. And just looking back, it's amazing how much you grow and how much you learn and how much more you're able to take on. And Natalia, as a senior, might be able to speak to that a little bit more.
My workload has honestly, I feel like the program is kind of set so these prereqs that you take kind of like set you up for like future courses, and I feel like the workload has been around the same. I think the only thing that intensifies is kind of like the concepts, like comparing computer systems, which is like a junior senior level course, to like 2114, which is like a sophomore level course. Those courses, you're definitely like newer to the concepts like as a sophomore, but by a senior year you should be able to kind of like interpret and then also kind of use those skills from those like earlier courses like at this like like a junior senior level. So it definitely intensifies, but I wouldn't say it's not it's definitely manageable, and you'll be prepared for that.
So we're getting some questions about common double majors or minors. So the most common is probably math. A lot of people double major in math or minor in math. It's not that many extra credits because there's a lot of overlap. But it's also, if you want to do something completely different, that's okay too. Natalia, you'd also be better to answer this one since you're a senior and have more experience. But what is the hardest CS class in your opinion?
Okay, so I can talk about this. This class that everyone kind of dreads taking, or would say is the hardest. I wouldn't say it's the hardest. I just think it's the most kind of like brain-consuming course is the computer systems course. It's like a CS 3214, and that course really just kind of is kind of like it takes in everything you've taken, like everything you've learned at Virginia Tech, basically from like your sophomore, junior level courses. That all kind of lead up to this big course, and it's kind of like testing your knowledge in like networking and development, and really understanding these kind of like concepts which are like definitely used in like the real world, like when it comes to like networking and computer systems, thread pool. These are just kind of more advanced topics, and for me it was challenging because that was all new information to me. Like I'd never done any, like I've done internships but not in like networking, so that was why it was like the most difficult for me, and I think a lot of other students will agree to that. But I mean, everyone gets through it, so I got through it. So like you definitely will.
Thank you all very much for attending, and we wish you luck in the application process. Maybe we'll see a bunch of you next fall. Thank you.
Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you.